Okay, so let's get into the story of my trailer delivery. This is just a preview of the delivery, and I'm going to show you the whole thing from beginning to end in just a second. But first, what I want to do is I want to show you the actual barn. It's called a Dutch barn, and it is 12 by 20 feet, and on top of the 12 by 20 feet, it's got two windows. It's got an actual garage door, which is kind of neat, and the two windows and the doors. And I'm going to show you from the outside. This is actually a clip after it's actually been delivered and set up, but bear in mind I will show you the whole process of the delivery. I actually I put a drone in the air and caught the entire delivery, which only took about 13 minutes, remarkably. I think it's a very good looking shed. It's very utilitarian. My whole idea was to move outside of the Beltway. I've had this campsite for, I want to say, 6 years now, and I've just basically been storing my camper there. And I decided pretty much recently, because the rent inside the Beltway is just so incredibly expensive anymore, paying more than $3 a foot. But anyway, here comes the truck. I was trying to get my drone up in time, and I could hear him rattling down the country road, and I got it up as soon as I could. I wish I would have caught this a little bit earlier. But anyway, here he is. He's arrived, and I've left my space open there for him to get through. And the whole idea is he's going to put this perpendicular to the camper. And you'll notice that old nasty motorhome right there. That's mine. It needs a power washing. That's another video. I've actually ordered the power washer, pressure washer, to go ahead and get that done. But in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and show you the full delivery. Now, I'm going to interrupt this in a minute, because what I'm doing here is I'm kind of building a homestead. I've got my camper there. I'm putting in this shed, and in addition to the shed, I also have a little cargo trailer that I've converted into like a bug out trailer type situation. And it's pretty cool. I'll show you that here in a minute. But in the meantime, this guy is taking off all of his signage and his road safety stuff to drop it off. And I was just amazed at how quickly they were able to deliver this. Now, I went down there's a place a couple of miles from my campsite that has these sheds, and you can get them rent to own or you can buy them outright. I decided to go with rent to own because I really didn't want to get in a situation where I've got 3 things to move out of there, and one of those is pretty much stationary, that being the shed. And the thing about the shed is, I live up in Northern Virginia, inside the Beltway, Falls Church, and like I mentioned before, the rents are just so incredibly high, and I'm paying over $3 a foot for my place up there. Now, since then, I've decided to build this trailer, and it's got solar, it's got hot and cold running water, got a TV in it, cell phone booster that's removable, and it's entirely stealth. And you might notice that little vent on the side, that's my air conditioning unit. We'll get into that in another video. I'll do a whole video on that, a whole series as a matter of fact, because that was quite the build. But that will enable me to travel, get around, and be 100% entirely stealth while doing so. And I tow it with that Toyota Highlander there, which is a hybrid, so I get great mileage on that. But anyway, here we go. We're going to go ahead and put the trailer in, or I keep saying trailer, I'm sorry, the shed in. And the shed is going to be, you know, kind of multi-purpose. There's going to be storage in there. Initially, I might actually just get a storage unit and use this shed for other things, because currently I'm doing ride share and other gig economy things inside of, you know, the Washington Beltway area mostly, and it's good money, but it's kind of kept me away from doing a lot of other things like my YouTube. My YouTube channels have suffered. I have two channels. I have a cooking channel, Food with Len, and I also have this channel that you're watching right now. Now, I've had a couple of good hits on this, but the problem is I decided at some point, oh yeah, I want to do Uber and Lyft in Northern Virginia. Well, to be honest with you, that pays very well when you do it, but there's absolutely no future in that. If you stop driving, you stop making money. There's no residual or anything like that that comes along with that. Now, YouTube, I've had a couple of, you know, to be honest, I've had a couple of really good hits on YouTube. I had my abandoned house that I had bought years ago. I just thought it was a piece of property, and I found an abandoned house on it. It got over 5 million views. On my cooking channel, I baked a potato. It was kind of like I was doing it as a joke. But, you know, that's got like 2.5 million views. It's actually been my most profitable. So anyway, I would like to get back into doing that. I'm not really counting on that. But anyway, for this shop, I would like to do like some woodworking, you know, local craft type stuff. And the other thing is, this gets me outside of the Beltway. And along with, you know, the expense inside the Beltway, you also have the recent political climate, and you know, our current president has just recently said that we are at the worst possible time or chance of, you know, a nuclear strike since like the early 1960s. And, you know, I don't really want to get too political in this, but I mean, damn, you know, if you live inside the DC Beltway, you know, if that is actually a fact, you know, that could be really devastating. But anyway, all that neither here nor there. This is a shed, and I bought this thing on a rent-to-own program because this is a campground. I've had that camper motorhome right behind it in here for like 6 years. And one of the reasons I've had it is because I used to do really well in life. I had some expensive houses, things like that. And then the bubble of 2007, 2008 happened, and I ended up losing 3 homes because I kept holding on to them thinking that the market would change, and it didn't. They were homes in Florida, which was one of the worst hit markets. And one was in Virginia that I lived in, and I kept paying the mortgages on those until I ran completely out of money, and I ended up on my mom's couch. So at that point, after a short time there, I bought a boat, lived on the boat, and then I ended up buying the motorhome because I thought I'd want to travel or whatever. And then I got into doing Uber and Lyft and rideshare and a couple of other gigs that do money up north. And the thing is, I thought, wow, I can really make it on YouTube with this. So started doing that stuff, and what happened is all these companies came out with, well, you cannot post our stuff. You know, if you post our stuff, you'll be deactivated. Well, the problem with that is, you know, I'm making great money doing their stuff, but at the same time, if I quit doing their stuff, the money stops flowing. You have to be out there every single day doing that. And, you know, you don't really have downtime, and the cost of living inside the Beltway eats up all that money. So what's the point? So in the meantime, I'm sitting here paying, you know, paltry money for this campsite that I have this camper on. The camper's slowly rotting away, and finally got to the point to where I thought, you know what, it probably would be better off if I just went ahead and, you know, put to use this campsite. I'm only 90 minutes outside of the Beltway. If I decide that I want to go up there and work a little bit, you know, that's not a problem. But in the meantime, it is so cheap to live here, and to have this motorhome that's already paid off, this little building that I'm doing rent to own, because once again, I don't really want to have to move this if I have to move out of here. You know, it's really easy to move a motorhome and a trailer, not so much this building. So I'm paying a little extra for the building. The building on a rent to own is $361 a month, and if I decide to move, then all I have to do is call them and say, you know, come get it. Now after 5 years, it becomes mine, and then it is my problem. But we'll see how it goes. Anyway, this is how quick they were able to deliver this thing and maneuver it around. I might have babbled through the whole maneuvering situation, and I think I did, yeah. So anyway, this guy's going back up there now. I'm putting up thumbs up. And this is in real time, ever since I showed you the inside. This is totally real time, how long it took to drop off this trailer. And I'm really looking forward to using shed. Really looking forward to using this. I can store a barbecue grill, a smoker, all that stuff in there. I can really do some things on my Food with Len channel. And if it gets really busy up the road, I can see that on my apps, and I can jump in the car and I'm up there in about 60 minutes. And so yeah, this is where I'm going, and I love the idea of this little shed. 12 by 24 between the shed, the motorhome, and the trailer. I have way more space than I have up here for about a third of the cost. So it makes a lot of sense to me. Anyway, I'm getting ready to show you what it looked like with everything parked where it needs to be. Off to the right, I plan on parking my trailer. I put the shed here because I wanted room to pull my vehicle out, because my door is on the side of the shed where I would have to exit through the back. And by exiting through the back, I'm able to put all three doors going out to like a center courtyard. So anyway, here I am signing the rest of the paperwork, receiving the keys from the guy, and that's the end of the delivery. The delivery was very fast. I'll put a link in the description down below where I got this shed, and if you decide you want to get one, if you're in Virginia or wherever in the area they serve, that's great. If you deliver sheds and you like this video and would like a link to your shed delivery company or your shed, leasing company or sales or whatever, just hit me up. I'll be more than happy to do it. I'd like you to throw me a bone if you can. But anyway, I'm walking out here. I think I'll give it a thumbs up, or maybe I already did that. And now, okay, this is what I look like from the front. As you can tell, the motorhome needs a pressure washing in the worst way. It's been sitting there for 6 years. So that will be in an upcoming video. That's my little stealth trailer on the left, yeah, I guess your left. And my Toyota Highlander that I tow that trailer with. And also do my ride share deliveries. Thank you for watching. I hope to catch you in another video.